out of us. Now betting for the sports animal, your afternoon drive. Number 2, men on, Van Nunley and Fred Slow. And in the on-deck circle, Marie Castillo.
Mike's hot.
This is 2 Men On with Van Nunley and Fred Slow.
It's Monday, Albuquerque. You know what that means? It means the boys are at Howies Sports Page. Let's go.
Let's go, baby. The boys are back.
About to rage at the page.
Monday Night Maniacs, get ready.
Ooh, I like
We're going to get loose tonight, baby.
I like that a lot. Monday Night Maniacs getting ready to get loose. I am Fred Slow, Van Nunley alongside me. Alongside us, Luke Markwith of Howies. Let's go, Luke. Welcome to the program, brother.
Oh, always good to be back. Always good to have you guys back. Monday Night Football back. I mean, everything about today is just fantastic.
You guys know how fun Mondays are in the world of the NFL season, so we will have a lot of fun talking about the NFL. We got a lot of fun things going on this week, including Duke City Championship Wrestling on Thursday night. We'll talk about that a little bit. Not today, probably tomorrow. Today's a football Monday. But today is 9/11, boys. We often do because we have every year. At least I have. I've been in sports talk radio for 21 years in October. 9/11 was 22 years ago. So for my entire professional career, 9/11 has existed. And the narrative over 9/11 has changed for me substantially over those 21 years to where, the first year or 2 years removed, there's a lot of remembrance still. And,
Sure.
Then there was we're going to build monuments. Obviously we're at war. Obviously there's a ton going on. And here we are 22 years later. And it's interesting to look back at 9/11 and make sure that it is remembered, which is kind of ironic because the catchphrase was never forget. And you can use whatever verbiage you want to hear, but I'll just say propaganda. The propaganda was never forget. Don't forget about what happened. And what's interesting now is we have a generation of human beings that can't remember because they weren't there. They weren't born. They were children. And I almost feel there's a responsibility, boys, when it comes to 9/11, even on an NFL Monday here at Howie Sports Page, to make sure you're talking about that, having that conversation with young adults today and telling them about that emotion and tell them about what was 9/11 and how you individually experienced it.
I mean, over 20 years later, unpackaging the whole situation, what we did with the war, what we did with American citizens' rights, that's a whole other conversation for another program. But I want to talk about how I felt on 9/11.
Yeah.
Because that was supposed to be a very special day for me personally. I don't want to take anything away from those friends of the show who have maybe lost somebody or connected directly to the tragedy. We are sorry for your loss. But that was a dreadful day for me because, as you know, Fred, I
am aware.
have
Yes.
a 21-year-old daughter.
That is correct.
And the morning of September 11th, we're getting the ultrasound to see my partner's pregnancy, what sex our child was going to be.
Right.
And I watched the second tower fall from the doctor's office in the lobby, waiting to find out the sex of my eventual daughter.
Yes.
And I had to think, what world am I bringing this kid into? The dread cannot be explained into words by someone who words for a living. So the dark clouds were definitely on top of me and the future of my daughter. And, luckily, a couple pandemics, a couple, worldwide events, everything's fine. We're 22 years later. And obviously, never forget the activities of September 11th. But, I mean, it means something different to everybody.
It does. And Luke, you and I were talking off the air. You were talking about being in your early 20s and being in Las Cruces and some of the people that surrounded you. And you were telling me there was a mixed bag in your immediate surrounding of people just saddened and shocked, which was my world as a high schooler. But then also you said you knew military members and there was a time of chaos and confusion. Kind of share that story a little bit with your 9/11 experience.
Yeah, definitely. Like my roommate at the time was in the Army National Guard. And so he was on immediate kind of alert of how soon was he going to have to pack up and go. And we were also, all of me and my social circle were of that age where we had to start wondering, are they going to reinstate the draft? Is this going to be something that, all of us are going to have
Mm-hmm.
no choice in, kind of a thing? And so, I mean, it was just a scary time all around,
Just terrifying.
at a very young age, and just kind of discovering who you are as a person
Yeah.
in your early 20s, and then to have all this. And I had family on the East Coast, and obviously worried and concerned for them and not being able to get a hold of people. And it was just,
Well, and then, we hearken that conversation back to you, Van, to where your daughter is 21 years old. I know your daughter well. She's smart. She's all the things you'd want a human being to be,
Sure.
and she can comprehend and process. But as you are watching her grow and introducing her life, how do you explain 9/11? How do you introduce not just the events as they occur, because you learn those, but the emotion? How do you convey that to a young adult, and your daughter specifically, who will eventually run this country?
Yeah, absolutely. And she will be, her and her group of friends, are all intelligent, kind, thoughtful human beings. She takes her studies very seriously.
Right.
She volunteers.
She's better than you.
She's a hard worker.
She's better than you.
She's better than me
Yes.
in every single way.
Every quantifiable category.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Intelligence, looks, kindness,
Yes.
patience.
She speaks more languages than you. She has more friends than you.
Speaks more languages,
Yes.
plays more instruments.
Correct.
Is just way better looking.
But
you have better facial hair.
Boom. There's
That's
that.
the one. But that's the thing. Like, what is that conversation today, boys? Like, how do you tell young adults that are coming into the world? Also, if Michelle William Grisham will allow you to do it, unless she wants to break your constitutional rights of free speech, that's a whole other conversation right now.
Yeah.
Like, how do you do that to make the levity exist? Because
Sure.
I don't think I ever fully understood Pearl Harbor. I don't think I ever fully understood, even as recently as I guess that's the best example. I was going to say the first World Trade Center attack, because I didn't really get that as a kid either.
Right. I mean, let's not compare a pandemic to a terrorist attack. But my 21-year-old daughter went through COVID in high school.
Yeah.
And she's seen a lot of things that are like the rise of the far right, multiple, tragedies in this country, weather patterns picking up, dealing with the effects of climate change. She's had to deal with a lot of things throughout her teenage and young adult years that we didn't have the same kind of perspective on then either. But instead of a series of events that you learn from and adapt to, September 11th was just one flat out tragedy.
Yeah.
Like, one awful terrorist attack that, sucked the life out of this country for a while, and then brought us together in an absolutely beautiful way that I don't think we've seen since then. But taking that national pride and taking that love and taking that tragedy and in my perspective, this isn't everyone's thoughts on the situation, but kind of using it for political gain to get a lot of things enacted that wouldn't have otherwise.
Patriot Act.
I think Patriot Act, invading Iraq, these kind of things that ended up happening politically because of this event. That notwithstanding, I think we misused a lot of national pride, a lot of great momentum in that moment, and we could have used it in a positive way, move forward, built from that moment. And a lot of people in power use it to exploit the American populace.
And it's an interesting dynamic as of today as well, because if 9/11 occurs on 9/11/2023 as opposed to 9/11/2001, it's a different narrative immediately everywhere. We saw that with the pandemic. There's
Sure.
just such an access to information. There's such an access to misinformation. There's such an access to avenues of communication to where you would immediately have opposition, I don't know a word to say, to factual events.
Well, yeah, everyone has a platform these days.
Yeah,
and
sure.
More so than they did then. And, kind of one of the things that we have to just remember, and when we are talking to the kids about it today that didn't live it, is kind of heighten the fact that, yeah, for a while after that, we all did come together, and that's what we need to take from it and try to get closer to that, because we are farther apart than we've ever been after getting so united after that, and kind of losing the lessons that taught us in kind of bringing everybody together for a while.
When I don't know if we're farther apart than we've ever been, but if you compare anything to how close knit everyone was at that time,
Sure.
September the 12th, we are as far apart as we've ever been. If that is your starting point, we're not currently in a civil war. It's not the 1860s, but it's we are currently as distant from as close as we were at that time, and it's wild. It's wild to try to communicate what it was like for me as a high schooler. Van, you were 1 year out of high school, right? Did I do that math right?
That is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was 19 years old.
So I was a high schooler, and I remember going to school the next day, and recruiters like in the lunchroom and the hallways, people I'd never seen before in my life, telling me how they were there to avenge, to change, to do, and all these different narratives and all the different approaches, and just a ton of chaos and confusion and harm. And then to just see how it has changed since then is just incredibly fascinating. And I don't know how to communicate it to Van Nunley's 21-year-old daughter. I don't know how to communicate it to really anyone up until, what's a fair age? 30? I guess some 30-year-olds get it. Real smart 9-year-olds might have got it. But
yeah, not only did you have to be older, you had to be intelligent. You had to know about the pulse of worldwide politics to even understand how something like that could happen.
Yeah.
My 19-year-old brain couldn't handle that. Obviously, my 19-year-old brain was addled with jazz cabbage and too many Keystone Lights.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't really wrap my head what was going on a worldwide scale. It took years for me to be able to unpackage that situation. Mm-hmm. If that would happen to, anyone that age, right, like literally right now, I could only imagine the giant amounts of misinformation. That's like one of the biggest problems we deal with now is the internet has access to all the information in the history of the world. Flip the coin over, it also has all the access to all the misinformation in the history of the world. So if an event like September 11th happened right now in this internet age, the way people are, like we mentioned before, haven't been as divided since September 12th, can you imagine the misinformation campaign coming from all fronts on the internet?
Cannot, but I'm so very appreciative too. Our audience that allowed us to talk about it for a little bit, I would encourage you, friends of the show, to talk to they that might not understand. Talk to they that might not get it. It's not just a story in a history book. It is a real occurrence that happened to people that young adults interact with every day. And if you have a personal story or if you have any sort of way to communicate the emotion of the day, I would encourage you to do it, because the idea of me as I grow older for that loss of emotion that has occurred over time, because that's how I feel it is now. I feel today, 9/11, it does not have that sentence, that word, that phrasing, does not have the impact that it had 5 years ago, 15 years ago, 10 years ago specifically, sure, and before then. And then, lastly, I've talked to you about this before, Van, the way that the world of sports, because that's where we live, that they incorporate Monday Night Football, do it tonight, undoubtedly. Right. That the way that they've incorporated patriotism is a word that I think has got a bad rap. But the way they've incorporated patriotism, the way they've incorporated knowledge and learning and their partnerships, and now we didn't used to do the national anthem before everything. I think people forgot that.
Right.
Like it is here and it exists and it is permanent. And here's Duke State Championship Wrestling. This upcoming Thursday night. Kat Powdrell is going to sing the national anthem for us because she's the best in town. And this is the week that we deserve to have the best national anthem that we could possibly have in town.
Sure.
You make the effort. You make the freaking effort.
And with all that being said, we are...
And we'll go to break after this. So,
yeah, sure. Yeah. And, like I said, you said earlier, I was 19. You were in your teens in high school. And you talked about the recruiters who immediately, got their boots on the ground and started recruiting people to get into the military in a way that I hadn't seen in my life or even heard of since the Vietnam draft. And I just want to take this moment to thank all the military service members who were inspired by that moment and after that moment, who did serve this country, who served the military to keep all of our rights in place and keep this the greatest country in the world. And thank you for your service. And, I've lost friends, and I have friends who came back from war who weren't the same person. And this level of sacrifice that it takes to do that, to be that supportive, to support this country and to fight for this country. I mean, it goes without saying, you're a stronger person than I can ever be. And thank you for your service.
I like that a lot, man. Final words, final thoughts on it before we go to Sports Talk, boys? I think we're there. We'll grab a break whenever we get back. Bob Walpo's back at the station. He's making the show go around. Big thank you to Bob for being a part of today. We're going to recap scores over the weekend. That's going to be a lot of fun. We're obviously going to talk about the stories. Lobos did it big at home. Also,
woo, baby,
the crowd was big. Congratulations. Biggest opening day crowd, home opener that they've ever had. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. They got a big game coming up next week. Love to do that on Wednesdays. Coach Danny Gonzalez will join us at 5:30. Also, a little bit of off-field stuff. So that's going to be interesting before we preview Monday Night Football. It's 2 Men On live from Howies Sports Page. Come rage at the page tonight. Hang out, you Monday Maniacs, as we finish our talk radio show up at 5:30, and we immediately turn on Monday Night Football in the soothing, therapeutic voice of one Joe Buck.
Oh, God, here
Let's
we go.
go. 2 Men On, 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
Clear.
Thank
Look
you.
at traffic right now. We do have some slowdown on I-25 southbound as you approach Osuna. Those are going to go until Comanche. Things starting to move slow right now westbound on I-40. Those slowdowns are going to start around 2nd Street. They'll last until Coors. And northbound on I-25 between Gibson and Central, traffic moving slow in that area. South of the city, I-25 between Albuquerque and Los Lunas. Things moving up to speed in both directions.
Brought to you by the Albuquerque Journal.
The Albuquerque Journal and Business Outlook. When you need local answers, the most reliable and in-depth information about health, safety, jobs, taxes, crime, energy, transportation, or government. Get the answers. Subscribe at abqjournal.com.
If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress, proudly providing New Mexicans with quality furniture and service for over 87 years. I'm Michael Carlisle from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
Telling it like it is.
It's an old saying in sports, paralysis by analysis. Just don't overthink the room. And I thought to myself, we kind of know who's going to win in this league. I'm going Bills, Chiefs, Jags, Bengals, Eagles, Seahawks, Saints, Lions.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Weekdays at 1 on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
When you can't stop, there's Vicks VapoRub. Vicks VapoRub sends powerful medicated Vicks vapors right to the source of your... so you can experience cough relief and breathe easier. Generations of families have trusted Vicks VapoRub to help relieve the worst cold symptoms. So next time you have a cough, reach for the Vicks VapoRub. Vicks VapoRub. Cough relieving is believing.
He said 1,500 hours.
Jax's hangar flies high thanks to his military precision. He wants to land some aircraft mechanics, preferably with a military background.
Okay, I wasn't aware of a new timeline.
Cancel. Stand by for new assignments.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates, and you can schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from the Indeed dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
In today's home mortgage market, it's important for consumers looking for a mortgage to shop around. The reason? We have just come out of the lowest rates in history, and many homeowners jumped in to take advantage, and mortgage lenders across the country were making huge profits. Today, the mortgage volume is a fraction of that, and these mortgage companies are in a panic with profits falling off the cliff. So what are they doing? They're charging borrowers interest rates and fees much higher than they deserve. That's because the higher rate and higher fees, the more profit. In other words, the lenders are maximizing profits on the backs of consumers. They are counting on borrowers not shopping that mortgage around. Indigo Mortgage will always try to get the borrower the lowest rate with the lowest fees, and we have saved homeowners many thousands of dollars over the years. So shop and shop local with your trusted local mortgage company, Indigo Mortgage, 836-5700, or on the net at indigomortgage.net. NMLS 231962 and 188-348.
Sam knows when people want some pizza, they search for pizza near me. Sam also knows if Sam's Pizza doesn't prominently appear when that map returns with pizza shops, well, then Sam's Pizza is not on the map.
Cumulus Boost can help by consistently managing Sam's online listings, managing reviews, and dozens of other things the search engine uses to put businesses on the map. Cumulus Boost helps make sure Sam gets the click. Cumulus Boost. Get on the map. CUMULUSBoost.com.
Take us with you anywhere.
Anywhere with cell service.
Download the KNML app in the
Coming back.
Tunes App Store. Just search KNML.
Mike's hot.
Come on, yeah. Come on, yeah. Come on. You better give me that. Yeah. and throw up the set. Homie, throw up the set. You better take it back, take it back. Yeah. And throw up the set, throw up the set. Now I got my Kobe shot, I'm about to rock the spot. And like the matchup, I'm about to make it hot. Got my mask on, and my tennis shoes on fine.
Good one, too, baby.
Well, I'm up.
Let your head down. Me and Mike
Sunday
about to bring the heat.
Sunday night was wild, huh?
That was bonkers.
All right, well, yeah, all right. Well, we'll start with the worst.
Let's jump right into the Cowboys.
I got some stats for you boys. They're from the Stupid Athletic. Okay. Are you ready? Also, we're at Howie Sports Page. Come hang out with the boys. We'll be here all night long. It's giving away halftime raffles. Come get your raffy, boys. Van, you know what I threw into the raffle today? You know what I threw into the raffle today, Van?
Let me guess.
Van, you know what's in the raffle today?
On top of Season 3 Two Men On shirts? In addition to, is that what you're saying?
So I didn't bring those. Did you bring any?
You didn't bring the shirts?
I forgot the shirts.
You didn't bring the shirts.
They're at the house. I super forgot until you just said something. Yeah.
My goodness.
Okay.
Okay, well, let me have a second guess.
Uh-huh.
Duke City Championship Wrestling tickets.
We got 4 of them.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yes.
Buddy.
So I'm not giving them away. Howie's is giving them away. So you got to be down here for the raffle. But do keep in mind, if you come to Duke City Championship Wrestling at the Historic El Rey on Thursday, you're sliding money into Daddy's pockets. I want to be very clear about that.
Sure.
Daddy's pockets are going to get
You're
lined.
referring to your pockets.
My pockets.
Not the proverbial everyone's
No.
pocket. Literally your pockets.
I am Daddy in this scenario.
Aha.
In the history of the NFL, according to The Athletic, no team has ever lost 40-0 or worse. Alongside losing the sack battle 7-0 or worse. Alongside losing the turnover battle 3-0 or worse. Alongside having a blocked field goal returned for a touchdown. Alongside throwing a pick six in the same season. No team has ever done all of those things in the same season. Giants fans and your stupid loser team, they did it all in one game.
They bundled. Bundling is the big thing these
yes,
days, right?
So you can get Disney Plus. They
bundled all those stats and a season's worth of stats that had never happened.
Got that
into
out of the
one
way.
pathetic game.
The NFL has got to stop putting this matchup in primetime. I cannot keep this many years in a row watching the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants just crap on my primetime Sunday night television viewing tendency.
Well, again, going back to the first segment, it was very strategic having last night and tonight's game in New York City.
Good point.
Right.
And so that was
that's
that
New
there.
Jersey.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
The New Jersey Giants and New Jersey Jets honoring September 11th. Yeah.
Some of those guys on the
news.
Giants want to get some New Jerseys with other team names on them after last night.
Hey-o.
That's the one.
Congratulations, though, Cowboys fans. And also, New Jersey Giants fans. Can't get any worse. Quite literally, this is rock bottom, boys. It's all uphill from here. And let me tell you, New Jersey Giants fans, your team is better than this. Not a lot, but your team is better than this.
The only thing that would have made that better is if it was the Monday night game and Eli and Peyton were doing their thing, and that would have been fantastic.
Oh, they had to run all over them.
Oh, yeah.
They had to run all over them. It's the worst. Sunday night football, and this sets the table for it being the worst. All of these Sunday night games suck.
Let me explain something to you about this game last night. The Dallas Cowboys defense scored 12 points. The New York Giants offense scored 0 points. That means the Cowboys offense didn't need to take the field all game, and they still would have won 12-0.
The quarterback for the New Jersey Giants looked terrified. Terrified the entire evening. I felt bad for him as a human being. He had no clue. Also, Saquon, I get that you can't run it. You're chasing 40-plus points.
Sure.
I get it.
Sure.
Where are you at? Where is anyone on the outside for this team?
I mean, he had like 4.5 yards of carry or something like that.
Well, I was going to say, they moved the ball that first drive and kind of got down the field, and he had a little success, and then the blocked field goal, and it was just the landslide begun.
It's generally the worst professional beatdown we've ever seen in the history of football. In the history of football, that right there, statistically speaking, is the worst thumping a team has ever put on another team.
Well, it's very rare when you have a game that's 40-0 and you say it's not as close as the score made it seem. I mean, this is, a lot of times you'll have those games that are blowouts and you say, oh, but it was a much closer game than that.
Yeah.
Than the score indicates. No, this was 40-0 and it wasn't that close.
It could have been 55-60-0 very easily.
Yeah.
The Cowboys, little person running back, he got a lot of reps in the fourth
Deuce
quarter.
Vaughn,
My
yes.
boy, my ginger brethren, Cooper Rush, he got reps in the fourth quarter. They started their second and third teamers in the fourth quarter. That's how bad it was against your rival.
Had it not been against NFL policy, I think Trey Lance could have got a few snaps last night just to see what they're working
Excellent
with.
point. Yeah, why not? Let him in there too.
Hey, listen, guy, we no pressure here.
Start a friggin' raffle in the crowd. Bring some people, some Cowboy fans. Just give them a jersey. Let them play.
Oh my gosh!
The spread. The Cowboys were 3.5 favorites, right? If you're confident about your bet, you could buy some points. Like if you really thought the Cowboys were going to kick ass like they did, you could have said, "Oh, I'm going to buy up some points. I'll take Cowboys minus a touchdown, minus 10 points." I want to call Vegas right now. Say, did anybody make a Dallas minus 39.5 point bet? Did anybody buy the points up to 39.5? That's rough.
It's so bad right now. It's in.
And how are the phone lines just not lighting up? Thanks for letting us do our thing today, Cowboys fans, because I thought we'd hear thousands of "we dim boys" click on our program.
Well, I think they're going to the Super Bowl. I look right at them. That's the best defense in the history of football. What?
Well, you might.
That's it.
You might recall last week I said the Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl to lose to the Jaguars. But I told you, Cowboys fans, your team is good. They are going to make a run. Congratulations. This is the start you guys wanted.
Well, just everyone should know you were watching a historically significant game, not just a bad game. It was historically speaking,
sure,
the most significant beatdown in the history of beatdowns.
If you're going to watch the worst movie of all time, you're going to watch the worst movie of all time.
Yeah.
It's not like you're not just watching some random bad, horrible movie that the tomato meter is through the floorboard. You're watching the worst one of all time.
And you're going to watch it in IMAX 3D with Dolby 9 million and,
Sunday Night Football was the room of football games.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. There was no other games. There was nothing else on. There was no other games. It was...
The movie The Room is so awful, it's fantastic. That game was so awful, it was fantastic.
I don't know if The Room's that awful. I mean, it's just it's like smart.
I did not hit her.
Oh, hi, Mark. Just a wild end to the weekend, which is how we'll continue this talk. Green Bay. File this one in the I told you so. File this one. And the Fred Slow said, like what this noise, this. I'm shuffling papers.
Go through the file.
Go through the file.
Put it in there.
Because I said, those boys are going to start the season 8-0. And after they start the season 8-0, they're not even going to know what losing looks like in such a way. And they put it on. They look like a world beater team. Is the NFC actually good and I didn't realize they were this good?
Both sides of the ball dominated. The Bears had a couple big plays. They could have put a couple decent drives together. But like you said, Luke, that's one of those games that wasn't as close as the score indicated.
Yeah.
The Packers dominated the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. Jordan Love, oh my God, Packers fans.
He fumbles, and then he throws it to the Musgraves cat, and you're like, is that annexation of Jordan Love? Is that what we're doing?
Packers fans, you got a quarterback. He looked good. He actually looked good. And what's important about that isn't he didn't make a bunch of Patrick Mahomes throws. You know, he didn't run around like Lamar Jackson. He did exactly what was asked of him. And like the most impressive part about Jordan Love's performance to me is he threw the ball out of bounds.
Joining us on the program, friend of the show. Also, he's the first quarterback to throw 3 touchdowns this season. I know that doesn't sound like a big stat. No one had that on their bingo card.
Sure.
No one. Friend of the show, Dan, joins us on the Sports Animal Hotline. He always brings it when it relates to the Cowboys. Dan, how are you, brother? Yep, you're my man. What's up?
Like, You guys talking about the Cowboys again?
I'm buying into them. I don't quite have Dan there.
Hey, Dan, how would you get a better connection?
Yeah, Bob, we'll get Dan on the next one around.
Yeah, try us back after the break, Dan.
Dan brings Cowboy heat, though.
He does, though.
I'm into Dan's energy on this.
Look, back to Jordan
Love.
Love.
Go ahead.
He looked like a NFL quarterback. I was worried that he's just going to be in LaFleur's system and he was going to do just fine. He looked like an NFL quarterback, made his reads, made his progressions. He wasn't just throwing the ball up blindly when he got in trouble. He'd run himself out of trouble and throw the ball away. He didn't try to force it into tiny windows. He took what the defense gave him, and he looked like an NFL quarterback. And as a Packers fan, I am wildly impressed.
Mm-hmm.
And I had my bar set low.
You were here, Luke, obviously at Howies Sports Page, big Sunday football day here at Howies every Sunday. You're watching it.
Packers Bar
here at Howies.
Not exclusively.
Not exclusive. No. Hey, not that there's anything wrong with it.
The walls back here are green.
They are green.
The walls back here in the corner are very green.
As the Packers faithful are packing Howies, Luke, what is the energy in here? Is it just, ooh, ah?
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of optimism yesterday throughout the game. Everybody was excited. I mean, there was a lot of good games, some not so great games, but that one seemed to just have everybody, all the Packers fans on their feet most of the game. A lot of the Go Pack Go chanting going on. It was a phenomenal crowd here, great day. And yeah, I mean, they're already inducting their third quarterback in a row into the Hall of Fame.
Well, and that's something too, since I don't have the exact number, but since the Packers traded for Brett Favre in 93, 92, whatever it was, I think they're 45-15 against the Bears. Like, they just don't mess around and lose to the Bears.
I own you.
The Packers,
guess what? Different quarterback, different jersey number, same result. Packers own the Bears.
God, they do own the Bears. Woo! The Bears will never, ever own the Packers.
It's going to be a minute.
They're off to a 3-1 disadvantage since 93 already. Like, it will take you 20 years to even come even. It won't happen. It's not a thing. Also there's a lot going on here on the texter, and there's a lot going on here on the phone lines. You can tell it's football season. Welcome back, by the way. Welcome back. Let's go. It's the most popular sport in the country. It's got the biggest fan base. We know you, Sports Animal fan. We know you, Two Men On fan. We know you, CBS Sports fan. You took a little bit of time off there during the summer, didn't you? We saw you take the time off.
I don't want to listen to Van talk about baseball.
Well, I'm tired of Van talking to me about Walpo. And that's not the producer.
Hey,
that's well-aligned live pop-up outs.
Right.
And you're
thank you, Gary Busey.
Yes. More NFL talk whenever we get back. The boys are live at Howie's Sports Page. We're going to hit the friends of the show as well whenever we get back. It's 2 Men On, 95.9 FM and AM 610. Home of Monday and Thursday and Sunday football here on the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com, and I sell custom blinds designed for do-it-yourselfers. Unlike stock blinds offered at big box retailers, Blindster blinds are custom made for your windows, and shipping is free. And right now, save 50% off any order during our Labor Day sale. Blindster.com.
Traffic right now, seeing some slowdowns westbound on I-40. Those are going to start right around the interchange. They're going to last until Coors. Southbound on I-25 between Osuna and Montgomery, traffic moving slow there. Also dealing with a little bit of a slowdown, both directions of Coors at Montano. Northbound on I-25 between Gibson and Central. Got a couple of slow spots in that area. Things also moving slow westbound on Paseo between 2nd Street and the river.
This report brought to you by Quality by DiLorenzo, Lomas, and Pennsylvania.
This September, remember, you'll always save more money at Quality Buick GMC on Lomas. Get 1.9% financing OAC on all Acadias, Terrains, Envisions, and Encore GXs. Quality by DiLorenzo, QualityDeal.com.
If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress, proudly providing New Mexicans with quality furniture and service for over 87 years. I'm Michael Carlisle from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
London's calling, and the Sports Animal has a daily chance for you to get registered for a London flyaway. Text London to 505-246-0610 and get entered daily. You could win airfare for two with 5 days and 4 nights in historic London, plus a rock and roll bus tour, dinner on the Thames. And all you need to do is text. Brought to you by Fiesta Subaru on Lomas or at fiestasubaru.com. Please don't text and drive. Contest details are online now at sportsanimalabq.com.
When you can't stop, there's Vicks VapoRub. Vicks VapoRub sends powerful medicated Vicks vapors right to the source of your, so you can experience cough relief and breathe easier. Generations of families have trusted Vicks VapoRub to help relieve the worst cold symptoms. So next time you have a cough, reach for the Vicks VapoRub. Vicks VapoRub. Cough relieving is believing.
We're going abroad for the first time in years, to Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Casino at the Downs hosts Fall Into Cash Monday through Friday, noon to 10 p.m. 3 winners every 2 hours. Each win $200 cash. Enjoy random promos daily, Downs Derby weekends, great dining, and more. Only at Casino at the Downs, Louisiana and Central. Live horse racing at the Downs at Albuquerque is back. Enjoy the best in live racing now through October 29th. Racing days are Wednesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays with additional days during the fair. Visit abqdowns.com for more details. See you at Albuquerque Downs Racetrack.
Every business seeks an advantage, whether it's having the best location, hiring top talent, or spotting trends before they happen. And now, the United States Postal Service can give your business a new advantage. Introducing USPS Ground Advantage. Reliable and affordable 2 to 5 day package shipping. It's the advantage you need at the price you want. Get the Ground Advantage at USPS.com/advantage. The United States Postal Service, delivering for America.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who pay attention to every little detail. The ones who fuss, tinker, and sweat the small stuff. Because you know the tiniest thing can make the biggest difference when it comes to keeping business moving. We get it. We're the same way, offering access to product experts to help you quickly and easily find what you need. So whatever your industry, you know you're always getting professional-grade products. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
A ductless mini split heat pump system is a convenient, super comfortable, and a cost-effective way to cool and heat specific areas of your home. Their small size and versatility allow the units to be installed almost anywhere in your home, creating toasty hot air in the winter and cool, crisp air in the summer. Daniels Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning are your mini split experts. Call them today for a free, no-obligation in-home estimate. 505-898-8860.
You want it right today. Get it done the Daniels way. Daniels Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
Hey, it's Rich Eisen. You want an exciting and fast-paced podcast based on one of the most popular segments in the history of The Rich Eisen Show? Well, you got it. Overreaction Monday, hosted by me, Rich Eisen, and my compadre, Chris Brockman. And every Monday, we're going to dive into the headlines from pro and college football and overreaction.
Rejoin in 10.
We're ready.
Yes, Rich.
I appreciate that.
Buddy, I'm coming for you. Absolutely what you need to hear. Overreaction Monday, every single, wait for it, Monday, wherever you listen.
I'm Jeff Symbieta.
We still have Steve and Orlando on the phone.
Bills and rivalry week from the Aggies' perspective with their head coach, Jerry Kill. J.J. Buck and I start the opening drive at 7 a.m.
Mike Sott.
Boys are live at Howies.
I love this place.
Our apologies to Dan, who tried to connect to us and couldn't, but Sports Animal Hotline is open, 505-246-0610. Joining us on in front of the show, Steve. Steve, welcome to the broadcast, brother.
How are you? I'm doing well. How about you?
Oh, just, getting ready for the best night of our lives, which is tonight at Howies Sports Page, watching Monday Night Football with all these maniacs.
Well, I can't wait to watch the game, too, and watch Aaron Rodgers come crashing back down to earth.
Okay.
Anyway, but that wasn't the reason I called.
What's up, my man?
I heard you guaranteeing that the Dallas Cowboys were going to make the Super Bowl and to file that away in the Fred Slow guarantee category.
Yeah,
And
they and the Packers. That's the call. So.
Okay. I just wanted to remind you about the last Fred Slow guarantee, and that was that the Kansas City Chiefs were going to humiliate the Detroit Lions. I think what you said was not even close. And how'd that turn out?
Well, I mean, there's room for error in every recipe. There's an apology to be issued, really, is what I'm seeing, Steve. So, yes.
Steve, we ain't got enough time all on air every single day for Fred's pick mess ups. We got to do a program.
Steve,
well, you know what? Fred didn't do any worse than last Thursday. You had some guy on there who ran a business where he offered you guys the best picks to make money in football betting. And he gave us two picks. Remember? It was he was picking San Diego to beat Miami, and he was picking Nebraska to beat Colorado. And he was wrong on both of those. So not a lot of good information coming out that day.
It's tough early in the year.
Sure. You don't know who's who.
No,
you don't know who's who yet.
No, I know that. I mean, defense is typically better than the offense at this stage. That's why all my fantasy football teams are scoring about 75 points. So it's a brutal first week, that's for sure.
Steve, thank you for taking the time, brother. We always appreciate your calls. It's a good dude. It's a good dude.
Steve, keep Fred honest all year.
Okay.
Please.
Well, and speaking of that, you also said that Travis Kelce was going to do his Willis Reed and come out and play.
I did do that. Yeah,
that was a lot of van there too. So I mean, we all made some mistakes last week.
Also, like Steve's got an iron, he's got it locked down on memory. He knows he's got them all. So
Steve, it's not just Fred. I missed 4 parlays. So yeah, Vikings and Bengals kind of screwed your boy over.
If I were to, Luke, show you the group text between me and Van and Jake Cassio and Amory Castillo, and I would start to keep a running tally on how poorly they all do at NFL bets, you would laugh a lot. You would laugh a lot. Orlando, welcome to the program on the Friend of the Show hotline. How are you, brother?
Gentlemen, how's it going?
How's it going?
I check in every once in a while. Couple of things here, 3 actually. I'll keep them brief. I know you guys are limited on the time. But on the 9/11 thing, near and dear to my heart, I retired here 24 months ago this month, 2 years ago this month, after 38 years of service. Ben, I want to thank you for the kind words you had earlier. It is greatly appreciated, and I love hearing it. And thank you very much. It just close to home. I was a combat medic, and when 9/11 happened with the Navy, so I did duty with the Marines. Long story short, volunteered in 2003. I was in Iraq, horrible 8 months. Seeing some stuff. After that tour, I came back for 5 years, and I was 42 the first time. Second time, I was 47. I was Navy Reserve. I was part-time. Ended up serving twice. The first time I volunteered, the second time I was voluntold, but I volunteered for 9/11, so very near and dear to my heart. And again, Van, kind words. They do hit close to home. Next is fantasy football. I want to thank you guys for twisting my arm to join your league there.
Yeah, baby.
And actually, I'm playing A-Marie, and I benefited from her because I listened to her Saturday morning program when I'm out working out. Yes, this old man still works out. And I got a lot of good hints, and I'm playing her, and I'm up, I think, 20 points on her. I might get the first game. The first game. Third is the Lobo game. Went to the Lobo game. It's about time. They beat a team they should have beat. They started off very shaky, and I'm like, oh, no, here we go again. But it went well. It went so well, I left at the end of the third quarter because the beers are too expensive there. But and, of course, last but not least, my Dallas Cowboys. I'm a hardcore Cowboy fan, but I'm a realist. I was very surprised. And it brings to mind a question. Are the Cowboys that good or the Giants just that bad?
Well, let's visit that when we get back because I don't mind stretching that out a little bit. Orlando, congratulations on losing your first fantasy football game tonight to Maria. She has a spectacular comeback. We're really excited about it. And I know we've said it to you before, and we say it often every time we call. But thank you so much for being you, friend. Thank you so much for your service, not to just the country, but to everyone. There's an appreciation. There's an appreciation for sure. Orlando, thank you.
And thank you, fellas, for walking me through fantasy football since I haven't played for like 7 or 8 years.
Sounds like you're crushing it so far.
We invited a little inside radio here. We invited Orlando into the league on his birthday, but we didn't know it was his birthday. So we texted him, we're like, hey, you want to play fantasy football? And he's like, I thought you guys were texting me about my birthday. We're like, how would we have known that, Luke?
We are.
Yeah.
Oh, did I not lead with that?
It's a very exclusive league.
Yeah.
We're only giving it to you because it is your birthday.
Right. Oh, that last text didn't send. That's my bad. We will tackle a little bit more how good the Cowboys are, how bad the Giants are. Obviously, a bunch of stories to go through. We will try to hit on they as fast as we can, and a little bit of a preview of tonight's Monday Night Football matchup between the Buffalo Bills of New York versus the New York Jets of New Jersey. It's 2 Men on live from the mobile John Lopez Real Estate and Coldwell Banker Legacy Studio. Of course, we're powered every single day by our starts at the YMCA of Central New Mexico. We spend our evenings right here at Howie Sports Page on Mondays. Don't forget, lunches over at the 6-6 Diner at that milkshake special. If you're going over to the fair, which I went to today, if you're going over to the fair, stop at the 6-6 Diner first.
Sure.
Trust me, you'll save some bucks. I looked at some of those prices, and if you're going to tell me $13 for a slice of pizza with a handful of pickles on top of it is an actual price for a thing, I'm going to disagree. I'm going to disagree entirely.
What kind of maniac puts pickles on a pizza?
I don't know. It was a suggestion to me. It was kind of a
I'm just starting to warm up to pineapple. Now you're telling me pickles are a thing?
Yes, we are. We're at Red Door this week, so we're going to enjoy that on Thursday. Up before Duke City Championship Wrestling live at the historic El Rey Theater. Check that out at dccwtickets.com. Don't forget, if you buy a ticket to that, you're sliding money into Daddy's pocket. So I'm appreciating everyone who's appreciating that product and supporting me in its endeavor. Thank you so very much. Also, we're about 15 minutes away from 5 o'clock, where we will be starting our Monday night with New Mexico's vodka. That's Teller Vodka. You know that for a fact. 2 Men On, 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by
Claire.
Come.
Hi. Pickle pizza is the thing. And I sell custom blinds designed for do-it-yourselfers.
Pickle pizza is a thing.
Yeah. We covered that Saturday on... Saturday we talked about it.
You order during our Labor Day.
What?
Blindster.com.
I know, but but not on pizza. Not for me.
Slowdowns westbound on I-40 between the interchange and Coors, but just a minor slowdown southbound on I-25 at the moment as you approach Montgomery. Also, seeing some slowdowns westbound on Paseo. Nothing too bad, but you're going to want to watch that between 2nd Street and the river. And south of the city, I-25 between Albuquerque and Los Lunas, traffic's moving up to speed in both directions.
Day of the Tread. The Day of the Dead themed bike event is October 28th and 29th. The Boss K Bone Shaker Gravel Ride offers 3 distances. Our road event has distances for all ages and skill levels. Go to dayofthetread.com for more info.
If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress, proudly providing New Mexicans with quality furniture and service for over 87 years. I'm Michael Carlisle from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
This is Maggie Gray with a CBS Sports Minute. Sean Payton lost his debut as Broncos head coach, and the biggest takeaway for me was that ego got in the way. Payton called for an onside kick to start the game, a clear throwback to his momentum-swinging call during Super Bowl 44. This time, the trick play was unsuccessful for Denver, but the message is clear. Payton wanted a look-at-me moment, putting himself above the team, and it backfired big time. I'm Maggie Gray.
Come to the UNM Howl Zone. 3.5 hours before kickoff for each home game with backyard games, inflatable, food, drinks, music, and more.
Hand him off to the deep man there. Oh, makes a man miss. He's outside the number to the 15. He's to the house.
Come celebrate with New Mexico's station for football.
First career global touchdown, 27 yards.
95.9 FM and AM 610.
Unbelievable.
The Sports Animal.
When you can't stop, there's Vicks VapoRub. Vicks VapoRub sends powerful medicated Vicks vapors right to the source of your... so you can experience cough relief and breathe easier. Generations of families have trusted Vicks VapoRub to help relieve the worst cold symptoms. So next time you have a cough, reach for the Vicks VapoRub. Vicks VapoRub. Cough relieving is believing.
He said 1,500 hours.
Jax's hangar flies high thanks to his military precision. He wants to land some aircraft mechanics, preferably with a military background.
Okay, I wasn't aware of a new timeline.
Cancel. Stand by for new assignment.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates, and you can schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from the Indeed dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Eric Strauss here. There is nothing easy about soffits and easements. You have to get out the ladder, the paint, the mess. Yuck. I hired CertaPro painters to repaint my faded old soffits and easements, and now my house looks amazing. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Schedules fill up fast, so now's the time to plan your project for your home or business.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early, everyone can go home on time. There's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts, so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Take as little as 3 minutes to see if you can save on motorcycle insurance with Progressive. Come on, you've spent more time than that trying to name your bike.
How about the Crusher? I guess it's not really crushing anything. The Silver Bolt? No. Oh, what about the Pepper? Serious. Is it a pet or a condiment? Surprise! It's a motorcycle. No, that's stupid.
Get a quote in as little as 3 minutes at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
It's the massive sales gargantuan blowout at Fiesta Subaru. Why are you talking like that? Because my voice sells lots of cars. So you're telling me that me saying that Fiesta Subaru delivers dependable vehicles with some of the best safety ratings, a hassle-free buying experience, isn't as good as you saying it? Yes. See, what's with the sound effects and all?
Back in 10.
No, just stop. Folks, just come see us in person today at Fiesta Subaru on Lomas or fiestasubaru.com. Fiesta Subaru. Okay, I'm done with you.
The NFL is on the air tonight. And be back here tomorrow morning to Armchair Quarterback with us on 95.
Okay, guys, Mike is hot.
Sports Animal.
Back live from Howies Sports Page. Let's go. Let's go. Luke Marquith.
Where we are already in mid-season form.
I do feel that way. I feel like I'm home.
Seeing some familiar faces already starting to roll in. We're getting ready to start grilling the glizzies in just a few minutes. It's time.
Hey, the last time that Howie's wasn't in mid-season form, Jimmy Carter was president.
That's true. That's 100%. Well, you know what's so fun about Howie's is obviously I come not just on Monday nights. I come throughout the summer or whatever. But I'm not here on Mondays during daylight hours. I have to work. I have this radio show.
Right.
So I show up like late at night, like real seedy like. And people are like, "Are you him?" And I'm like, "I am him." And they're like, "Stop saying I am him." That's weird. Just say your name. Say your name, Fred, at Howie's. Halftime giveaways, got a bunch of them tonight. Obviously, you can come and eat for free on Howie's. They got grilled glizzies. They got a whole little spread. They have a lot of pitchers for Bud Light. There's one that they won't have in a few minutes because I'm going to get that one for myself.
That's what's up.
That one is for me. Come hang out with the boys. We're going to have a lot of fun with it. Michelle Lujan Grisham will not try to stop you. She will not just pass for no reason. Not even legislation. Just say a thing out loud.
They've tried before, and they haven't been able to stop us. So. Sure. 9 months closed couldn't stop us. We're stronger than ever. So here we go.
This is not the politics show, but figure it out, MLG. Just figure it out, girl.
a little part of me like nods my head a little bit, like, oh, I get it. Okay,
I get there's a problem. I get it.
I get it.
I see
get
the
it.
problem.
But what?
What are you doing?
What you did? What did you say?
What do you think happened?
What did you do? You're just gonna just rip up the Constitution all of a sudden?
You think you can just do that?
Yeah. No, you can't.
No, you're wild.
You can't. That's you're wilding out, girl.
The Cowboys are not as good as the Giants are bad. That's a fact.
Hey, that's the truest thing ever in the history of the world.
In the whole entirety of the world, that is the truest thing. The Cowboys are good. I'm not going to say they're not. I saw them.
Offense has some work to do, but the defense was stellar.
Very good. Incredibly good. That guy that I thought wasn't that good, Micah Parsons, they put a bunch of good guys around him. All of a sudden, he looks good.
He's pretty good.
Like, what? Like, what is it? What's up with this dude? Also, their secondary is real good. Because I'm watching that offensive line, and what are they doing? Stunting on those Giants. Stunting every single snap, it felt like. You got a guy going around a guy. You got a fake blitz. I felt like it was Madden, and someone's just, you know when you play Madden and someone's going on the triggers right beforehand? You're like, that's what they're doing. The Cowboys have it figured out here. Danny Jones.
I think by the end of the game, they felt bad, and they were counting 5 Mississippi before rushed.
No.
That was the whole fourth quarter.
Yeah.
It could have been 60 rip if they wanted it to be. You speaking of Madden, what the Cowboys did to the Giants, that's what you do to your 8-year-old nephew who wants to play Madden with you.
Hey,
you beat him 40-0 in the third quarter, and then you put in the scrubs and you try to let him score, and he still doesn't score.
From the Sports Animal text line, I like when texts start with "Yo, Fred." Yo, Fred.
Okay.
The other day, A. Marie didn't want to say Daddy's pockets. That's true. She didn't. She has issue with referring to my pockets.
In full disclosure, she has a lot of issues with a lot of things we do.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
To be fair.
That's just one. To be fair.
She does. What about switching it up to Poppy's pockets? Ooh. Okay, that's not a terrible idea. Slow money movement. Maybe put your cash in Fred's Fun Money Foundation. These are all very good.
Strong work.
Or even come up with a fun jingle.
Okay.
I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. A fun wrestling jingle for Daddy's pockets.
Okay.
Come to Duke City Championship Wrestling if you haven't been. It is so much fun. All we do is laugh. Watch Thursday Night Football later. You don't even know who's playing on Thursday. Bring to the show. You don't know who's playing on Thursday. Don't talk to me like that's a reason why you can't come. You can't.
There's 16 games a week.
And with YouTube TV, it's like super easy to watch it now. Like super easy. You just turn off YouTube and come to Howies. That's the easiest thing. Luke Marquardt, you hanging out or you good?
I'm hanging out.
Are you hanging out? Luke's with us all programs long. Broadcasting live from Howie's. We're going to get weird. A little Monday Night Football viewing party after this. Tune in on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The home of Monday, Thursday, and Sunday Night Football here on the Sports Animal.
We came to play.
You're clear.
We came to play. 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 We came to play.
Brought to you New Mexico State Fair, September 7th through the 17th.
Your VIP pass to live music is here with the New Mexico State Fair Concert Series. It's the biggest music event of the summer, and it's got a star-studded lineup you don't want to miss. September 7th to the 17th. Get your tickets at exponm.com. Presented by Chevron.
Brought to you by the 2023 New Mexico State Fair, September 7th through the 17th.
Traffic right now, things not looking bad here in the metro for this time of day. Now, we are dealing with slowdowns westbound on I-40 between the interchange and Coors, but just a minor slowdown southbound on I-25 at the moment as you approach Montgomery. Also, seeing some slowdowns westbound on Paseo. Nothing too bad, but you're going to want to watch that between 2nd Street and the river. And south of the city, I-25 between Albuquerque and Los Lunas, traffic's moving up to speed in both directions.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Want to save big on custom faux wood blinds, shutters, cellular shades, and more? Shop Blindster today and save up to 50% over comparable blinds from brick-and-mortar stores. And right now, save 50% off any order during our Labor Day sale. Blindster.com.
If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress. proudly providing New Mexicans with quality furniture and service for over 87 years. I'm Michael Carlisle from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
This is Jim Rome with your Rome Report. Does somebody want to go tell the football giants that their football season has actually started? Because I'm still not sure they realize that, even after getting their heads absolutely handed to them in their own house by their arch rivals last night. That had to have been one of the most hideous and least competitive primetime games I have ever seen. That might have been the worst Sunday night opening game ever. But hey, at least it was good to see Danny Turnovers doing a classic Danny Turnovers in prime time. Said nobody ever. Hey, NFL, please stop doing this to us. Please stop making us watch one Daniel Jones in prime time. Nobody is asking for this. Nobody wants this because it never goes well. He is 1-10 now in primetime games, and nobody wants to see him make that 1-11.
I have diabetes. I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I have asthma. I'm at risk too.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a vaccine that can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
IDM 30.
Weekends at the Downs has your favorite games, live music, great dining with 30 screens, and your game's on. Watch and wager on live and simulcast racing, karaoke Wednesdays, and be sure to check out the flea market and other Expo New Mexico events, only at Casino at the Downs. Albuquerque Downs Racetrack and Casino is hiring, and some positions include a cash bonus. We're looking for great people for live racing in the casino as security, slot attendants, beverage and food servers, bar backs, and many more. Join the winning team. Visit abqdowns.com/careers for listings.
K240BL Albuquerque is 95.9 FM, AM 610 KNML Albuquerque.
The Sports Animal, proud to be a Cumulus media station.
Even if they're not that proud of us.
Now betting for the Sports Animal. Your afternoon drive. Number 2, Men On, Van Nunley and Fred Slow. And in the on-deck circle, Marie Castillo. This is 2 Men.
Okay, Mike is hot.
Fred Slow.
Back live at Howies talking football on Football Monday, recapping football from this past weekend, including that dude, Dylan Hopkins, 13 of 17, 273 yards, 4 tutties. Did turn it over one time, but that's fine. I mean, that happens. What you're going to do, you're going to try to put some things out there and get creative. But just an absolute dominating performance from the Lobos, just right above 17,000 fans. The Lobos announced in attendance, 56-10. Home team victorious over a team they should have put it on, and they did put it on them.
And it's a shame that everyone who was outside didn't come inside, because I think there was more than 17 outside.
Oh, did it feel like that?
Not everyone came inside.
Well, and here's the thing. I full transparency, not able to be at the game, had a prior obligation. That's life. That happens. As I'm doing my best to get updates and doing my best, I don't know how to say this without sounding cynical, Luke. Twitter was a positive about the Lobos.
Sure.
You don't always find that on game day.
Sure. No, definitely.
And I was excited to go back and kind of see the highlights that I saw, and I'm going to watch the entirety of it on the Mountain West Network whenever I get a chance. But, the boys, I guess the boys, get a little tune-up for the New Mexico State game coming up this weekend. So Lobos football appearing, at least right now, to be a back, boys. So I'm pretty excited about it.
Dylan Hopkins looks like a dude.
Yeah.
He looks like a quarterback. He read through his progressions. He looks the part. And, no offense to any quarterback on the New Mexico Lobos in the past decade or so. Looks like we got our guy.
Mm-hmm.
We got a guy.
He's also in a system he was familiar with the offensive coordinator coming over and everything, and so that always helps. but it definitely was encouraging this weekend.
Just shy of 600 total yards for the offense. They moved it. Defense looked really strong too. Obviously the shutout in the second half. And what do you often have in these big blowouts is you got guys on the field that wouldn't necessarily be on the field to start a game, and they were performing out there as well.
Yeah.
So it's given a lot of opportunity to a lot of players to get out there, play in front of their fans. I think it was billed as the largest home opening crowd ever.
That's bonkers.
Yeah, so pretty excited.
Hey, and as far as like the traffic, the parking, the tailgating events, the pregame events, that was a good tune-up. Concessions on the inside, ushers on the inside. 17,000 people is a good tune-up for what's about to happen this Saturday.
I agree. It's a big one against the Aggies. It's 6 o'clock kickoff there. You get that on the Mountain West Network. KOAT will have it as well on that 7.2. I'm going to be honest. I don't
True
really,
crime something, 7.2 or 3.
I don't
or.
really know how that stuff works.
But we'll have it here at Howie's.
It's at Howie's.
We'll have it here at Howie's.
Right here at Howie's.
So
your home for Lobo football and all things sports.
if you're not there in person, come to Howie's.
Exactly.
Watch it at Howie's. That's so funny. This one, I'm going to say it in the most politically correct way. Come early next Saturday. Don't do anything stupid in the tailgate. Don't get too drunk before you try to go in.
Yeah.
Like there's going to be a heightened awareness with thing alongside the fair's going on Saturday.
Yep.
There's just a lot going on in the world, and this thing deserves to be treated with, what's the word I want to use? The delicacy that it deserves. And I don't mean delicate like a flower. I mean delicate like a bomb. Like it is, this thing is going to have some energy around it, dating back to basketball last season and football before that.
Yeah, this is the first big meeting between these two schools since all of that.
Show it the respect it deserves.
Hey, and I went on record last year saying that you should slap Lobo and Aggie fans on the wrist and not have games this year.
Yeah.
You don't know what you got till it's gone. Keep that in mind. Fans, players, college students, be on your best behavior. You can have an absolute blast. Guess what? There's Bracanos that live in Cruces.
Yep.
Guess what? There's Aggies that live in Albuquerque.
Mm-hmm.
We both live in New Mexico. We all represent New Mexico. Put your best foot forward. Talk all the smack you want. Keep your fists and your weapons to your damn self. Have a blast, and let's represent New Mexico and have an amazing Saturday.
Well said.
You guys are both from that region of the state. You're both
Sure.
here now. I am not from this state at all. I'm here now. I think now for the first time, emotions run strong in this
Sure.
rivalry.
Sure.
Let them run high. But you got to recognize the environment you're in.
Right.
And Lobo fan, I am encouraging you. Aggie fan, I am encouraging you. New Mexican, I am encouraging you. Make the right decisions while you're out there and treat this thing with the sensitivity that it deserves. Because it has been there's been loss of life. I don't know how else to say that.
Yeah.
The Rio Grande rivalry is a privilege, not a right. We don't have to do this for you, New Mexico.
Hey,
this is not necessary.
Michelle Lujan Grisham can actually get rid of this one.
Yeah, for sure.
So stupid.
And, we are exactly at an even line right now, too, in Vegas. There's no spread.
Oh, I didn't know that.
There's no favorite. It's an exact
This is a
even
pick'em.
line
Well,
as of this morning.
The Aggies made their Conference USA debut last week. Lost. Like that's where they are. Like they want this one.
Yeah.
Like the Lobos put it on in not FBS, SCF school.
Yeah.
They put it on them. Like these are two teams that are doing two very different things right now, and they both want this one for opposite reasons. And it's gonna get real entertaining. Be there in person. Do it, enjoy it, get out in front of it. We know how important that is to every single Lobo fan. Respect it.
Respect it.
Respect it.
You don't know what you got till it's gone, Lobos and Aggies.
So big win for the Logos over the past week, and we're excited about that. We'll talk more about it with head coach Danny Gonzalez. That'll be Wednesday at 5:30. We're excited to have he on this program talking about that. We're going to grab an earlier break so we can come back, give fair amount of time to NFL recap over the weekend, and we're going to give you our Monday Night Football predictions, and we're not on the same page right here. So it's going to be a lot of fun to talk about who is going to do well and those that don't do well, why. It's 2 Men On, 95.9 FM and AM 610. the sports animal.
This report is sponsored.
Thank you. You're clear, so I need to know what you want to do.
America has powerful digital solutions for local and
We go off
businesses, so you can make every.
right?
Well, yeah, I need to know, do you want this next coming segment and a segment after that, a short
I
one?
thought we would just
or
run it up
Being a bit slow westbound on I.
No, okay. If you want this to be the last segment and for me to back time, so at the next break we go into the football game, I can do that.
Let's do that. What time would you want me to break?
I will let you know here in just a few minutes.
Thank you.
Because I have to back time it.
River.
This message is brought to you by the New Mexico Department of Game and Fish. TJ Trout here, and whether you're a seasoned angler or a first-time fisher person, New Mexico has something for everybody. Explore hidden fishing gems and create memories that will last a lifetime. Visit the Department of Game and Fish website to learn more. Get out and fish, New Mexico.
If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress, proudly providing New Mexicans with quality furniture and service for over 87 years. I'm Michael Carlisle from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
London's calling, and the sports animal has a daily chance for you to get registered for a London flyaway. Text London to 505-246-0610 and get entered daily. You could win airfare for two with 5 days and 4 nights in historic London, plus a rock and roll bus tour, dinner on the Thames. And all you need to do is text. Brought to you by Fiesta Subaru on Lomas or at fiestasubaru.com. Please don't text and drive. Contest details are online now at sportsanimалabq.com.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
Hi, I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. Over the years, Lerner Rowe has helped over 150,000 people recover billions of dollars for their injuries. What does that mean to you when you're looking for a lawyer? We not only have the experience, but the proven results to recover money for your injuries. The insurance companies know which lawyers won't put up a fight. You call us, we call them, and they know they have to pay.
Can get you more. Call 544-4444.
Multi-state settlements. Carlos Obri Espinosa is the managing attorney, 2711 Carlisle Boulevard, Northeast Albuquerque.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for...
Rejoin in 30.
Call 800-989-8906 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection
Rejoin in 20.
receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-989-8906.
Rejoin in 10.
989-8906. What do you have to lose? Call 800-989-8906. Again, 800-989-8906.
I'm Jeff Sabieta, too.
Hello.
Aaron and the Jets look against the Bills and rivalry week from the Aggies.
You ready?
Yeah. Coach Jerry.
Okay, you had me scared there.
No. Start the opening drive at 7.
You're going out at 23:30 is when your music will start.
23:30.
Yeah, I sent a text on it.
I got it.
Okay, Mike is hot.
Upcoming Monday Night Football. Excited for that. But you know how
You go a couple weeks, you go a few months,
Go a
you go a
couple
few
months.
years
Yep. Mhm.
without maybe, I don't know, seeing a loved one.
Yeah.
Maybe a family member, a
Uh-huh.
best friend.
Yeah.
And then you get to see him, that warm embrace. You know
You
you
were
miss
only
him.
gone 3 days, dude. We're fine.
I was talking about Howie Sports
Oh,
Page.
okay, got
I
it.
miss Mondays at Howie
Yep.
Sports Page so much.
They're back.
We're back, baby. Let's go.
All is right with the world.
You, I, Luke, every single person on the face of this planet outside of maybe Jeff Symbieta, we were all wrong about the Rams this past weekend, as every single person I ever met, talked to, or placed a bet, wagered that the Seattle Seahawks are going to put it on them boys in the Los Angeles County area of the city of Los Angeles. Rams big over the Seahawks. Is this real, boys?
I do not believe so. I had some Pinkies Out expert analysis while I was doing my homework today, saying that there's a shakeup in the coaching staff of the Rams that kind of fits their player personnel better. But I think this is the one-off fluke.
Okay.
I don't think Matt Stafford is Matt Stafford of old. Obviously, there's no Cooper Kupp. Aaron Donald still seems like Aaron Donald, but the rest of that roster is pretty soft.
Okay. Luke,
I think maybe it was more of a Seahawks loss than a Rams win this time.
Luke, you feel that way or otherwise?
I'm still kind of up in the air, but they looked a lot better than I thought they would.
Yeah.
Stafford's still a great quarterback.
Maybe the biggest surprise of the weekend, sorry to cut you off, Luke, is the Cleveland Browns over the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals only put up 3, and Cleveland scored 24, one in recognition of every person that Deshaun Watson sexually assaulted.
So, is that the exact number?
I believe it's close. If it's not,
I think it's under.
I was going to say that
I'm going to be honest. I think it's maybe even way under. This is the biggest shock of the weekend to me. The Vikings upset was big, but that was a close game. That was a one-score game. The Browns didn't just beat the Cincinnati Bengals; they embarrassed them.
Okay,
they dominated them.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know that meme, Fred? I'm going to talk memes real quick. You know that meme where
I don't.
Homer Simpson goes into the bush?
I do know, yes.
And then comes back out of the bush?
Yeah, we call that Marge.
This is Joe Burrow cashed his check, went into the bush, and then Andy Dalton came out because that was embarrassing. That was not Joe Burrow. Who was that guy impersonating Joe Burrow in
Dave
Cleveland?
Klingler.
And then also their wide receiver had been saying a bunch of stuff publicly about
the elves.
Yeah.
There was some inclement weather. There was some things, but they just did not look good at all.
They were not the part. The Baltimore Ravens did what we thought they would do against the Texans. We'll blaze past that. I think Baker Mayfield is a loser. I don't mean professionally as an athlete. I mean just in life. He just seems like a wienery little weirdo. I don't know how I feel about Baker Mayfield winning football games, but he beat the Minnesota Vikings this weekend, so I guess that makes them less than the little rascal that is Baker Mayfield.
I'm rooting for Baker Mayfield just because of his commercial shooting prowess. I don't think the Buccaneers are a good football team. I think they're going to be 500 this year at best. But look, the Buccaneers,
they couldn't get any running game going, and if you're relying on Mayfield all season, I think you're in the wrong boat.
You're in big trouble. The Buccaneers had 2 drives over 50 yards, and they scored touchdowns both times. So Vikings outgained them by 230 yards, and the only 2 times that they gained more than 50 yards, they scored touchdowns.
Trying us again on the front of the show hotline is friend of the show, Dan. Dan, welcome back, brother. How are you?
Hey, guys. How you doing today?
We got you this time. There we go.
What's up, Dan?
Well, got me. I was going to tell you, I wouldn't write the Rams off. I know that they got rid of a lot of good players, but I'm hoping they do a little bit better than they did last season. I wouldn't write them off, and nobody ages well. But I'm willing to bet if the Cowboys go any further than what they did after trouncing the Giants, be willing to bet my retirement they'll get to the playoffs, but they won't get into the Super Bowl. So that's my take off.
Okay. Don't hate that at all, Dan. Appreciate you taking the time. I don't necessarily know if the Cowboys are that step ahead of the Packers this second. I don't necessarily know if they're a step ahead of some of those other NFC teams like the 49ers. Yeah, but I think I'm going to see them in the mix because I don't think the Commanders are in the mix.
that matchup will be good on October 8th when they meet San Francisco and the Cowboys.
That'll be the one.
That'll probably be one of the highest watched games of the
Yeah,
year.
I agree.
Niners, Cowboys, Bulls.
Dan, thank you.
Thank you.
I like him a lot.
Back to the Vikings real quick.
Yeah.
I told you in the season preview they're not going to be as good as they were last year. I see them sneaking into the playoffs. But look, the Vikings were 11-0 in one-score games last year. What are they in one-score games this year?
0-1.
0-1. 0-1. Those odds had to even back out.
Yeah, I mean, they just had a lot of problems near the goal line. They said they had no problem moving the ball. They had tons more yards and did that, but they just couldn't close anything. They just got sloppy near the goal line and a few tips and a few things, and that's just the way it went.
Have you guys ever seen a less hype first overall draft pick than the one we currently have in the season this season?
All the rookie quarterbacks look like rookies.
They all look like rookies.
I was pretty impressed on the surface with Anthony Richardson. He did his thing, but the rookies look like rookies.
CJ Stroud had it put on him.
Sure.
Had him put on him.
It could have been worse too. 2 Lamar Jackson turnovers away from it being like 42-9.
It was not the business. It was not the business at all.
Yeah.
Carolina.
That Falcons Panthers game was closer than the score would indicate, as we're now going the opposite direction.
Sure.
But
Bryce Young was looking rough.
Yeah,
looking rough. The
Bijan Robinson looked great.
Bijan was a
but
dude. Zay Flowers.
Looked great. Ritter struggled. I mean, Atlanta's got some issues to work out too. But
it's to me, when you have an opportunity like this and you're in Atlanta, how you don't show the NFL who Kyle Pitts is. I can't figure out why Atlanta can't figure out who their tight end is. The dude athletically should be the best one.
He should be the best. I mean, he should be the best non-Kelsey one. For sure.
Oh, God, I'm not even talking about him being better.
Oh, you talking about system tight end Travis Kelce?
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
49ers 30-7 over the Steelers. They looked incredibly rough. Did Pittsburgh? They got no talent on the offensive side. I don't know where it will come from.
All right, this isn't the Steelers being that bad. This is a Niners being that good. The yards, did you see this, guys? The team yards at one moment was 199-1. Did you guys see that? It was an ass whipping of epic proportion in Pittsburgh.
Well, Kenny Pickett was the highest rated quarterback in the preseason. Looked like they had made some steps, but they just could not get anything going yesterday. Najee Harris got banged up a few times, it looked like, and it just
Steelers fan, this is not who you are. This is who the 49ers are.
It all comes down to them making the mistake of cutting Zach Gentry, Albuquerque legend Zach Gentry.
Boom.
Is that what it is?
Boom. There it is.
His absence showed yesterday.
Can you imagine if you were in a football market in this country with just broadcast television and your 2 CBS games were the Saints and the Titans and the Raiders and the Broncos? Can you imagine if you watched those 2 football games this past weekend?
As if you're not a Broncos fan or a fan of any of the other teams, that is rough viewing.
That is the best commercial for YouTube package that you can get.
Just 2 snoozers.
That may not have been accidental.
Hey, so maybe Jets offensive coordinator Nathaniel Hackett wasn't the problem.
Yeah.
You couldn't even score more than 16 points against the Raiders at home?
Eagles pulled it
Come on,
off.
Sean Payton. Where you at,
Eagles
Sean
didn't
P?
look great either.
No, but they did pull it off over
They
the
did.
Patriots, who also didn't look great. Game of the weekend, in my opinion, was the Dolphins and the Los Angeles Chargers.
That was a shootout.
So incredibly good.
That was fun to watch.
A world of entertainment. We'll go into depth on all these tomorrow. You know how tight it is on a Monday.
That's going to be a lot of fun to watch until Tua's concussion.
There's that. We got previewing the Jets and the Bills tonight. This one is a big one. It's in New Jersey. The Jets are special because of Hard Knocks. They are special because of Aaron Rodgers. The Buffalo Bills should be that team. Here's a note, because I know a lot of people are looking. Damar Hamlin not active tonight. Will not be playing tonight. Boys, Bills on the road. New York versus New Jersey. Who you got?
I'm curious to see how the other Jets play.
Okay.
We know Sauce Gardner is going to be a stud. We know Quinnen Williams is going to be a stud. We know Garrett Wilson is going to be a stud. We know Aaron Rodgers is going to be a stud. How do the rest of the Jets play?
Alan Lazard.
Do they have all the secondary pieces in place to actually be a good team? Are they just like floating by on a little bit of stardom?
How does Breece Hall bounce back?
Yeah, it's going to be a big one as well.
Is Breece Hall playing?
Dalvin Cook down the backfield. I am going to look past all of Van's commentary and take the Jets at home. I don't think this is Buffalo's season. I think their window is actually closed, if you ask me, boys.
Yeah, I think they're on the decline already. I mean,
Yeah.
unfortunately, I think Brian Dable had a huge part of Josh Allen's success, and without him, he hasn't been the same. And I see a decline in Buffalo, unfortunately.
Van, make a decision.
I see a bad weather slugfest, and the Bills eke one out in the fourth quarter.
Oh, okay.
Well, you were the one talking about Rodgers' record on Monday Night Football earlier.
Yeah, my bad. I was behind the scenes. I thought that was on air. Aaron Rodgers has won 9 straight Monday Night Football games. He is 9-0 in his last 9.
The anti-Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
First Monday night of the season, coming out with the boys at Howies Sports Page. They got the foods, they got the drinks, we got the halftime giveaways. What am I missing here?
Free glizzies.
We got glizzies for the guys and gals.
As soon as we get off air here, I'm going out to grill them up.
You're going to grill glizzies for guys and gals?
That's a lot of cheese, but yes.
Boys are here. Thank you for being with us up until now. We will be here all night long playing and laughing. Come say hi to us.
And all season long on Mondays.
Luke Markwood, thank you so very much.
Oh, thank you guys. Always a pleasure.
Bob Walpole back at the station. You're an absolute dude. Thank you to Dan, Steve, and Orlando who took the time with the program today. And what's your final word?
Too much for the time allotted, my friend. But anything we didn't cover, make sure you check out tomorrow morning on the opening drive with Jeff and JJ.
Good job, everyone. GG.
See you tomorrow.